The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
WZWA Sports. It's in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WZWA Network for another UFC review with your boy Hogsley. These shows keep getting better and better, everyone. Today I'm looking back at UFC 293, and like I said, these are treating me well. These are bangers of cards. So I welcome you to join me as I reflect back on this great one. As always, I'm going to go through it chronologically, so we'll start with Pedro versus Turkic. Now, off the bat, this was obviously in Sydney, Australia. And anytime the UFC leaves its home country of America, they do like to showcase a lot of the talent that, of the country that they're at. So we had a lot of Aussie fighters fighting out of Australia. I think they were mainly from New Zealand, but doesn't bother me. New Zealand, you're my brother. Everyone over there, you're my brothers, my sisters. We're basically all one big loving, unified Oceania. So starting off, we had a Tyson Pedro versus Anton Turkalj. Now, Tyson Pedro obviously fighting for Australia. So the crowd is right into him, right behind him. I love that kind of atmosphere. And this was just a great way to start a UFC main card. It almost kind of looked like a bit of fan service. That's the word I'm looking for, because I reckon they just fed Anton to Tyson Pedro. Anton Turkalj looked just out of his depth. It didn't look like he belonged in the ring with someone like Tyson Pedro. Tyson Pedro had great boxing skills, a great boxing game. And this is why I keep hammering on about how important those skills are, because you also need that boxing defense, and Anton Turkalj showed absolutely none of that. It's just absolutely no striking defense for punches. His hands were nowhere near his chin. After he threw a punch, it wasn't coming back anywhere high. They were all hanging down kind of low. And you know what happens? He ends up just getting clipped time and time again by heavy strikes. Bring your fucking hands to your chin. This shouldn't be so hard. I do not understand. I know you've got to worry about kicks, but kicks also come to the head. Keep your hands high. Jesus. Round one TKO this ended up being. Turkalj gets caught by just a cracker of a right hand, and the onslaught continued. Just heavy punch after heavy punch. I actually loved Pedro. He mixed in a nice body kick in the strikes. I think that variety is important in MMA. But yeah, he stunned him and just picked him apart. And that was it. Round one, 2 minutes into round one, basically was just an absolute domination by Tyson Pedro. But continue on why I just love being an Aussie boy and why I love all my fellow Aussie boys and girls and everyone else out there. Just the way we conduct ourselves as a country is just like nothing you'll ever see anywhere else in the world. Our attitude is just... I love it. I love it because it's my attitude. They're going to the post-fight interview, which first of all, I will say, I loved having no Joe Rogan on this card, okay? I liked the woman who came in to replace him in commentary a lot better, and I also liked DC doing the post-fight interviews a lot better. But anyway, they go to interview Tyson Pedro, and like a true Aussie boy, just starts swearing right off the bat in that typical thick Aussie accent. It tickled me in a way only another Aussie boy or girl can tickle me. I loved it. So moving on, we go to our next fight, which pretty much played out almost like a mirror match to the first one. We had Justin Tafa and Austin Lane. Now, this one had a bit more of a storyline behind it, because they had a match previously which ended in a no contest via eye poke. And so obviously, let's run it back. Let's see who's the better fighter. And it almost happened again in almost identical fashion. So straight away, you're like, fuck. So you really got to play out again like that. Luckily, it didn't. It ended up being inconsequential. And it just ended up playing out a lot like the first match. Justin Taffer just ends up stunning lane with just a straight left hand that sends this lane into another dimension. His soul left his body, and it just ends up just getting wiped out again in very, very similar fashion. I mean, both first round knockouts. In fact, Taffer took 1 minute and Pedro took 2 minutes. So, just very, very similar. But you know what? This is what I love. I love a good finish. And we've got Justin Taffer now with 7 wins and I think 7 KO finishes. So he's clearly a heavy hitter. And, I just flew by that, flew through that match. So look, I'll rewind a little bit. Tough as a tiny, tiny heavyweight. Not in terms of weight. He's a big boy, but he's only 6 foot. That's kind of short. That is short for a heavyweight. And he was going up against someone who's 6'6" in Austin Lane. Okay. Normally, when you've got that kind of height discrepancy, the taller man should just box on the outside. It might be boring. I mean, Vladimir Klitschko made a whole career on boring ass fights. But if they can't get in, can't get past your jab, then you win. It's easy. That's it. You win because I won't hit you. Going back to Klitschko, he was taught the best chin in the world is the one that never got hit because he had a glass jaw. Okay? So if he never got hit, he never had to worry about getting knocked out. But Taffer just found a way. He found a way through that entire fight just to get through, get inside, and land his own offense. And it was devastating offense at that. So, I mean, was this just another case of fan service? Just feeding a guy to the people the Aussie crowd love? Possibly. And I mean, it's not uncommon. No country's going to be happy if they send out 5 of their own guys and they all get knocked out. I mean, they're just going to be booing the house down. You want that crowd atmosphere. So maybe. I don't know. I'm still early on in my, love of MMA and UFC. I don't know. But look, 2 fights down, 3 to go. I feel like I'm flying through this. So let's move on. We go on to, what was his name? Manel Cape versus Felipe dos Santos. Now, Dos Santos looked green. He looked very young. I don't know if this was his UFC debut. He only had 7 fights under his name. I think he was undefeated at the time. 7 wins, 0 losses. So that's still real early on in the UFC career. But how much value do I put to him being a possibly undefeated fighter or maybe had 1 loss? Not much, because he did just look so green in there. He just looked arrogant. He looked like an arrogant-ass fighter. Someone who thought that they could just run through the entire world and the best in the world and all that jazz. And he got humbled. He got humbled big time by Cape. They were both throwing bombs, but the cleaner, more accurate offense was coming from Cape through this entire fight. He gets a knockdown early on with just great counters. And that's just the story of this fight. Dos Santos was just an arrogant-ass fighter trying to just blitz him by throwing wild bombs. Cape stayed measured, he stayed composed, and he just kept going with these great counters and wins a pretty easy unanimous decision. I don't have the scorecards on me, but I do have the stats on me. Look, I'll give you the stats quite quickly. You had 116 out of 186 for Cape. 62.4%, right? You go over to Dos Santos' side, he almost landed similar, 101 punches. But he threw 310. That's 32.6. He almost doubled the punches landed by Dos Santos. Well, not double, yeah, you know what I mean. Dos Santos threw twice as many punches as Cape and still landed less. He was just wild. He was a wild fighter. Going to significant strikes. Once again, they're quite close in terms of landed punches, 112 to 182 for Cape, which is 61%. But then you go back over to Dos Santos and it's 99 out of 304 for 32%. Like, just wild. But you've probably picked up something, and I just picked up on that myself. Going back to how much of just a slugfest it was with just them throwing bombs. Look at this. 182 out of 186 strikes was significant for Cape. Which means, what is that? 4 jabs were thrown? Then it was 304 out of 310, which is 6 jabs thrown for Dos Santos. This was all power punches all night for these two, which was definitely entertaining to see. But I'm definitely happy with the more skillful fighter picking up a victory as he should. Now, this is where my praise of Cape has got to come to a screeching bloody halt, because the post-fight interview. Originally I thought this was hilarious. I thought this guy, I love a good swearing. He's I wrote it down on my phone. Let me double check. Jesus. There we are. I'm all curled up, man. So, like I said, I thought it was quite funny because he's calling out the other guys in the top 10. This guy's ranked 10, and he goes, "You are all boys. Dos Santos is a man. He is a man because he chose to fight me. All you motherfuckers out there, you won't fight me. You're not men." He's basically calling them all motherfuckers, and then he like singles out one of the guys in the top part of his division. I don't know the guy. The broadcaster didn't show his name, and he starts calling him a fucking piece of shit. "You fucking piece of shit. Come fight me, you coward." This guy in the arena, he's standing up. He's like, right, making a fool of himself. Cape keeps calling him a piece of shit. And then, oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm going to use a word here. I'm not going to use a real word. I'm going to use the word maggot. But it rhymes with maggot, okay? And I think you know the word I'm talking about. Because he then goes to say, "And if you don't come in the ring and fight me, I'm going to come to the gym and I'm going to spar you at your gym. And none of your teammates are going to stop me because they're a bunch of maggots." Holy shit. He just said that live on TV. Daniel Cormier ripped that mic away for him so bloody fast. I mean, that was funny to see. DC just going, yeah. Oh, Jesus, let's end this post-fight interview. I shouldn't laugh. You can't bloody say that, man. Like, it's 2023. You should have never been able to say it back in 2000. Okay? The gay community all around the world are already just under so much ostracization or stigma, or it's illegal in some places. They are bullied, they're tortured. They already go through so bloody much that I think we're now at a point where we shouldn't be using these words as continued slurs against people, okay? It's just ridiculous. If you are someone who's part of the LGBT community, that doesn't box you in as someone who's weak, or someone who wouldn't fight, or someone who wouldn't stand up for themselves, okay? These people already go through so much shit and fight through all that every single day. These are some of the strongest people on the planet. So to continue to use this word as the idea that that particular person is weak, it's not on, okay? And this wasn't even the only time this happened tonight. There was another fighter on the prelims who also used maggot in his post-fight interview. Oh, Jesus. The PR team's going to be working some overtime. I don't even know what more to say. Like, I'm getting heated, so let's just move through it, eh? So, look, we're up to the co-main event and main event. Always the most exciting time of any of these cards, and we had Tai Tuivasa versus Alexander Volkov. Now, both these guys are kind of fan favorites, you know. Both sort of longer careers, especially Volkov with almost 50 fights in the MMA under his belt. Tai Tuivasa has always just been a very, I think, especially for Australians, just a popular fighter. I think it was Volkov. He's come up short in some matches that have sort of been the ones to propel him to a top level. I think he lost to Derek Lewis in the infamous "My Balls Is Hot" match. I think that was the one anyway. So he's obviously come close and just never quite got in there. So here comes a great test for both these fighters. This is the kind of match you need to propel yourself to hopefully get a shot at It's John Bon Jones. John Bon Jones. John Bones Jones is the current champion, isn't he? So I don't think either of them's ever going to beat him. That guy's just on another fucking level. But, get another shot at him. But Tai Tuivasa was just absolutely dominated in this fight. I mean, the stats alone just is all I really need to say. You had 30 landed strikes to 107 landed strikes. 28 of those were significant strikes for Tai, and 93 were for Alexander Volkov. Both landed. I mean, Volkov landed at 65%, Tai at around 40%. So just cleaned him up. And then he came through on his promise, which I love to see. He's like, I'm going to submit Tai Tuivasa. Now, submissions obviously aren't very popular in the heavyweight division. It's more your knockouts. These are big lads. I mean, I don't remember too many submission specialists at the heavyweight division, but he's like, I'm going to submit him. And he came through on that promise. They eventually get each other to the ground, and he locks in an Ezekiel choke of all things. I don't know how many Ezekiel chokes have ever been pulled off. I thought this was cool, man. I thought that was a really cool looking submission. What is it? You place your forearm over their neck and you just wrap around and you just press into him. That was some like Hitman Blood Money kind of shit, if anyone remembers that game. I mean, using the forearm like right against the neck. I thought it was real cool. Volkov picks up a good win. Cyril Gagne, I think that's the kind of guy I should probably go for next. Cyril, I don't know. I don't know how to look at him right now. I don't know where he really ranks as a heavyweight. It seems like he's just gatekeeping John Jones at the moment. Because he clearly got absolutely dominated by John Jones. He put up somewhat of a competition against Francis Ngannou, but lost to him. But then he had a fight just recently on a fight night where he dominated the person going up against him. So Cyril Gagne is definitely not at that top level, but he's probably just that tier below it. So if Volkov can get through him, then look, we'll see how he goes up against someone like John Jones. But I think Ngannou needs to come back to MMA. I think that's the fight that still needs to be made in the heavyweight division. Ngannou obviously off to fight Tyson Fury. He's obviously just collecting a paycheck because outside of a puncher's chance, he's just going to get dominated by Fury. I don't think anyone can argue with that. There's always a chance he knocks out Fury, but he has to land a pretty lucky punch. So, look, I'm already digressing off from that. So let's go on. We'll look at the main event, and this was a very, very interesting fight. This is huge, okay? Because you had consensus pound for pound one of the top guys in the world in Israel Adesanya. I have Volkanovski, number one. But Adesanya's going to be, 2, 3? I mean, the stuff he's done in MMA is absolutely incredible. Outside that stoppage recently he received, which he redeemed with a stoppage of his own, he's been pretty much untouchable his entire UFC career, especially in like the most recent years of it. So then he's picked up Sean Strickland. And I think, now I heard this online, I don't know enough, this was meant to be kind of a stay busy, pick up a win fight for Adesanya and fight a bigger person in the division. I can't remember who it is. They called out Adesanya in the previous fight. There's a lot of fighters, But anyway, so you had Sean Strickland, and I am in love with Sean Strickland, everyone. That is my perfect MMA fighter. This dude looked like Triple G in the ring. He looked like Gennady Golovkin. The way he fought upright and just walked down Adesanya. He was just fearless. The expression on his face didn't change for 4 rounds and 4 minutes. 4.5 minutes. He just stoic. A machine. He was the Terminator in there, everyone. Just kept walking forward like this. And I don't think Adesanya's ever been ring bullied like that. Okay, the way he kept getting cut off, and he was cutting Adesanya off. He wasn't just walking him down every time. He would always sort of make sure he was pressuring him towards the cage. And he just kept landing big bombs on him. I mean, this fight was almost over at the start of round 1, the end of round 1. Because he cracks Adesanya hard. Adesanya's stunned. He's on another planet. And Strickland just jumps on him, throwing massive left hooks right into the head of Adesanya. If that round had another minute left in it, it would have been a first round knockout for Strickland. 100%, no doubt about it. Fortunately for Adesanya, the bell did go. Unfortunately for Adesanya, he had another 4 rounds of punishment to go through because he did nothing. I shouldn't say that because I did give round 2 to Adesanya. You know, and it's commendable to come back after getting hit hard in round 1. He's like, I need to win round 2. I need to get back on track. I think he edges round 2, but then it just gets absolutely embarrassed by Strickland. There's no doubt about it. You go watch this fight and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Because Strickland, like I said, he was a Terminator in there, everyone. I think the only offense Adesanya was able to land were some tippy-tap leg kicks, which CompuBox said Strickland wasn't checking. But I actually think he checked a lot more than CompuBox gave him credit for. Or at least he was lifting up that front or his lead leg and letting it sort of go loose so it wasn't just stiffening that leg. But other than that, that was all Adesanya was able to do against Strickland, who kept walking him down and kept landing big punch after big punch all night. And like I said, he just didn't change that facial expression until like the last 15 seconds of the fight where he came alive. He knew that he just won this fight. He is screaming at Adesanya, let's fucking go. He's like, ah. It was like everything had just come out of him. He kept it all down. He kept to his game plan. He stayed so stoic. He didn't rush himself. He knew he was winning. He just kept at it. And he ends up picking a wide unanimous decision of Israel Adesanya. This was unbelievable kind of stuff right here. I mean, he entered in as like a -600 favorite Adesanya. By the end of round 3, he was like a +700 underdog. That's a wide swing in like margins here. So, I mean, I can't even say too much more about this. I know I should probably take more notes about what happens in each round and what were some good combos, but that's just not how I absorb the content, right? I'm so invested, and I don't want to take my eyes away from the screen to write some shit on my phone, okay? All I can tell you guys is I love this card. Adesanya, I mean, no one's ever put him on the back foot like that, okay? I don't know what happens here. He needs to reset here. He needs to get another good win under his belt, because after a domination like that changes your mental state. It definitely does. Sean Strickland, you're absolutely 100% deserving of that title. I can't wait to see your next match and what you can do, because this is a career-defining win for you. I hope it doesn't get to your head like it does with other champions across all other sports, because if you can fight like that, you are going to be my favorite fighter. I love the stand-up game. I love the way you cut that down that ring like Triple G and just landed these bombs and then just came alive like the superstar you are to end the fight. So that is my review of UFC 293. An absolute cracker of a card. A couple of really good finishes. Bit of controversy with Carpe. Well, I mean, what more can you ask for in terms of content? So go ahead, go watch it yourself. Go watch the highlights. Well worth your time. Hopefully you've enjoyed your time with myself. I am Hogsley. This has been the WZWA Network. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. And I will see you down the road.
WZWA Network, that's the way we play. Good God Almighty. WZWA Network, that's the way we play. Get puppies. WZWA Network, that's the way we play. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.